Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks for another episode of Building Gotham City in Lego. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you've all had a good Christmas period, and now it's time to get back on with the building. And I'm going to be starting off this update with working on the back of this raised platform area. I want this section here to look like there are a load of warehouses along here. There won't be one for the first part because that's where the entrance to the car park is. So you just got to imagine the warehouses are behind, further back along that area. Also need to bring this part here out by 4 studs. That's all one continuous line. One thing I might also do is remove some of the uprights here and actually have it so the warehouse goes underneath the raised platform. It won't be on all of them, but at least one, just so I can do a little bit more storytelling with that part of it. So without further ado, let's get one of these sections over to the table and let's get started. And here we have the first 3 lockups built into the raised platform area. These 2 here, the doors don't open. However, the one on the end here, that does open. Black bricks at the back there just to give it the illusion it goes a lot further back. And I will put probably some pallets or some crates in the front of it there to make it look like it's all filled up with some goods of some description. Now these doors here, they're on hinge plates here, and I've been using these hinge pieces on my mandrel mock, and a couple of people pointed out a couple of videos ago that you can actually put a quarter round tile on the front stud just where the hinge piece joins, and that way you don't have a gap on there. So I'm really grateful for the 2 people that pointed out that you can get away with doing that on there. So that's really helpful for this mock and also the mandrel mock. Still need to tile off this section along here and put some other details along the front part here as well. But what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to move this over to the city, have a look, see how it's looking next to the section next to it. Provided I'm happy with it, I can carry on building the other lockups. So let's take it over to the table and see how it looks. And there are the lockups back on the mock table here. Really pleased with how they're looking. So I'm just going to carry on building the same sort of style all the way along. I'll probably change the doors up a little bit on those. So I'm going to take the next section over to the table and carry on building. And there is the fascias all covering the back of the raised platform. And it's so nice no longer seeing that filler brick that's supporting the art plates at the top there. Now, as you can see on these sections just here, I've just put some normal bricks, masonry bricks and things like that, as opposed to the doors down that end. Now there's a couple of reasons for that. One, I've run out of the brown bricks, so I can't make any more of those doors. But secondly, this is a car park entrance down here, so realistically, as cars coming in here, they will be hitting into the back of these storage containers, lockers, whatever you want to call them. So I think it's probably more realistic that they wouldn't actually have anything on that side. So I'm happy to compromise and leave that just there. Now what I'm going to work on next is this section here. I need to do the ramp that's going to lead up, so any vehicles that are driving along to the lockups can do so along there. Now this section just here, again you can see the multicolour filler brick. I just need to change all of that out, and what I also need to do is change this section just here so the vehicles can drive along to the warehouses and also to Ace Chemicals. So I just need to think about all of those sort of things. And that's the area all sorted out, ready for the ramp that's going to lead up to the storage units. Now the plan is I'm going to build a snot road which will just rest in place on there. I will put some tiles underneath it just to keep it all in place, and when the road comes along here, again it's all going to prop up together, so that should work absolutely fine. One thing I need to work on next is this part here. So I want it so the road comes along, it's going to go single file to here and then go along here. So I need to do something with the pavement area on here. So at the moment, if I put the road going across there, if there was a truck parked here, it's going to be blocking the road. So I just need to work out exactly how I'm going to do that. So let's turn our attentions to that part next. And that's the pavement area outside the back of the warehouse, all destroyed. Now I was going to be using this piece here as the edge of the road. So I was going to put it like so, use a similar sort of like piece over this side here, and the road was going to come in at that angle. Now I do want it to be at this angle because they do tiles in there, so any other angle I'm going to struggle and it's not going to look as polished, as tidy. However, I have realised I don't even need to use these because I'm using a snot technique road. When I pop it in here, it is flush with these bricks, so what I can actually do, rather than use that part there, I can build the brick wall under it and then just use a wedge plate on top of it. That's going to enable me to have a nice tidier finish, and it's just going to make it a lot simpler. If I put this piece in here, all of a sudden I've got to start working out how I'm going to put the brickwork on this road here to make it flush with that. So at least that problem has been solved straight away. Anyway, let's get back to building this section back up. So I'm going to start off by rebuilding the pavement here and also do some steps up to that section just there. And that's the road section all revised at the back of the warehouse there. I've shrunk the lines back so they're level with the pavement area. They're not very big looking, so if there is a truck parked outside the back of the warehouse, chances are it is going to block the road here, but I'm going to have to be quite creative with the truck that I put in there. It would be nice if this section was coming over here and that whole area was larger, but unfortunately there is no way around that due to the way I've designed it. Now, if in the future I am able to extend the city, then I could change this entire section around here, but it'll do for the time being. Now, next thing I'm going to do is build a hut on the end of there, and there's going to be a barrier going across the road, so there'll be a security guard in there, and it will authorise anybody that goes in and out of the ACE chemical area. And a fair bit of progress has been made on Gotham City here. As you can see, we've got the ramp going up to the raised area just here behind the raised platform, and really happy with how they're all looking along that section just there. When you compare to the beginning of the video to how it's looking now, there's such a big change along that part alone. Now, the ramp section here does need to be modified, and this road section as well. All of this has just been put in quickly, just so I get a better visual of how it's going to look once it's all done. So there will be a lot more lines and details in the road section and also the ramp. That light bluish grey brick there, or bricks, they're snot bricks. They're the only ones I had available that were doing the job. And once I've completed this properly, I think it'll be a much smoother joint up to the raised area just there. Now, the other thing as well is I've got the curb coming along here, and I think I'm going to continue it to go all the way along there. There's no necessity for it to step in like that. Now, this section just here, I do like it, however, it could have done with being a lot bigger. So hopefully in the future we'll be able to extend the city and I'll be able to carry on building out this direction. And then I'll be able to move this road over. So the parking bays just there are that a little bit bigger. And as you can see, we've got the guard hut there. So anybody that's arriving for ACE Chemicals, the security guard's going to need to let them in by raising this barrier, which does stay in place due to the fact it's using one of the clips which keeps the friction in there. But all in all, really happy again with just a little more detail on there. Now, this entire area all needs to have lights put in it. Still got to put the garage doors on the back of the warehouse here, and on the top there I still need to do a lot more details with railings and even fitting the office out, but it's all a work in progress, shall we say. And again, with this back section, I did change over the plates down the end there. They were all multicoloured, and just so it looks a lot tidier whilst I'm building, I thought I'd swap them over for the light bluish grey ones. So again, that's good. And I do need to still put the barrier all the way along this edge here, so any vehicles won't fall over into the water. But there will be a lot more details eventually along that section. I was hoping to work on the shops at the front there, but I just ran out of time. So hopefully that will be something we get done in the next few episodes. One other thing I do want to do is in this section here. As you can see, I've tiled it for the time being, but it would be nice to put another building. Now, for those of you that have been following the Gotham build series from the very beginning, when I first made the Falcone Warehouse, I did have another building, and there was two. One was in sand blue and one was in the sand green. And it would be nice to get the sand green building put in here. Whether that's a hut where people go to when they arrive, the storage units, or whether it's a fisherman's hut, I'm not sure, but I think it would be nice just to have an additional building there, something to break the colour up so it's not all grey when you're looking down this section. Anyway, really happy with the progress I managed to get done this week. I think a fair few changes have been made, and it's all looking so much nicer on this part of the build. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. If you know anybody else that you think will be interested in this build series or the building manual, please share the channel with them. Anyway, thanks for popping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.